The hope for additional products have led interest in agriculture to moving away from commodities. As we move away from commodities, the hope is that we can differentiate amongst ourselves by more than low cost, gain some premiums, and increase profits. Moving away from a commodity is a continuum. You can think of this as first starting out with the commodity having something or there being something different in a commodity that causes it to be a bit of a non-commodity. You can think of that going from those characteristics down to branding. All right, if we're thinking about characteristics of a commodity that may vary, it would be soybeans is the commodity, GMO-free soybeans is the non-commodity. We can take that all the way down to branding, and branding would be a specific product produced at a specific firm in perhaps a specific location. And there's degrees of along that continuum. Let's first start thinking about the examples of a non-commodity or something that just varies a bit from the commodity level. You would have soybeans as the commodity. GMO-free soybeans would be the non-commodity. Here we're taking a good and making it a non-commodity. Eggs, cage-free eggs. So we have eggs which are produced and sold in grocery stores. We could market cage-free eggs. Beef, grass-fed beef, or you could do grain-fed beef. Milk, organic milk, or any other product could fit in that organic category. And finally, coffee, fair trade coffee. All of those, if we think about all of these require some degree of segregation from the commodity. If I'm, for example, producing GMO-free soybeans or non-GMO soybeans, I need to keep those soybeans separate from my commodity soybeans. If I don't preserve that non-commodity method of production. Here are some facts. The non-commodity will most likely be more costly produced than the commodity. That is occurring because we're limiting technologies. If we're limiting the production set of a producer, we won't lower the cost of production. We will simply raise the cost of production. The mere act of segregating will have cost associated with it. It will also require a supply chain. If I want to do GMO-free soybeans, I need farmers, I need a grain company, and I need transportation. I need something that's going to coordinate that system. That would also require premiums. All right? In the long run, here's the concern. It may cause innovation in the commodity market that will cause the non-commodity to look less desirable. Let's say GMO-free soybeans take off. Well, there is some danger that in the end, GMO-free soybeans become the commodity. Let's also take another example. Let's say Deere generates a technology, for example, some other way of controlling weeds mechanically. And that is a real possibility that would reduce pesticide use. If we had that technology and no longer used pesticides in commodity production, that would reduce the desirability of organic production because we would take away one of the things that cause organic production to be different from the commodity approach. So there's that one extreme, or just a bit movement away. We're producing commodity with a bit of a change in traits or production practices or something else to complete branding. And I put an example up here. This happens to be a Montana example, and I use Montana. There are Illinois examples, and I picked a Montana farm. They are producing meat and marketing direct to farmers, or excuse me, to consumers. They have to have a method of reaching the consumer, which is relatively straightforward these days. After you can deliver meat from a place to another place using various delivery systems. Here you're marketing a production system. You're saying that this production system results in better meat or some desirability in meat that would allow for it to be charged a premium. Again, we have interest in moving away from commodity, and there are various ways that you can think about moving away from a commodity, from just a single specific item within a commodity to complete branding.